On behalf of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Parampara, we now begin this ceremony of Harinam initiation. This verse we have chanted, Om Apavitra Pavitrova, encapsulates the essence of life and the purpose that every living being is striving, knowingly or unknowingly, to achieve. Whether one is pure or not pure, or even having passed through all situations of life, one who remembers the beautiful, lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes purified, both internally and externally. Pavitra is a name of Krishna. Within the context of this material world, this name has ultimate relevance. The cause of all suffering and all illusion is we are disconnected from our true nature and from the source of everything and everyone that exists. Krishna tells in Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhuvu matti sarvam pravartite. I am the origin of all material and all spiritual worlds. Everything emanates from me. Parasya shaktir vivadaiva shriyate. Krishna, the one supreme absolute truth, Advaita, eternally has multifarious energies. The primary energies is the Chit Shakti, the spiritual world, where everything is Satchidananda, eternal, full of knowledge, and full of happiness. And there is the Bahiranga Shakti, the external energy, which manifests in practically limitless varieties within this material existence. Krishna's external energy is forever, but all manifestations within it are ever changing. Nothing is constant. Within this Bahiranga or material energy, Maya, everything is controlled by another power of Krishna, Kala, or time. In this material creation, time is all powerful and all pervading. Whatever we know, whatever we memorize, whoever we know, whatever we have, whatever we're able to do, we cannot escape being controlled by time for a single moment. The scripture tells us that with every rising and setting of the sun, we are one day closer to death. but one who remembers the Supreme Personality of Godhead through hearing, chanting, and rendering service. Such a person is one day closer to eternal life. Everyone is seeking to find relief and happiness within this material world. But Krishna, who is the supreme controller and the creator and the knower of everything, he tells us in Bhagavad Gita so many places in so many ways that it's futile. From the highest planet in this material world, Brahmaloka, to the lowest, suffering is inevitable. Because there will be birth, old age, disease, and death. And in between, the all-pervading energy within this material existence the temporariness of life creates adhyatmaka, adhibautika, adhitaivaka. Miseries of the body and mind, miseries of other living beings, and the miseries of nature. So there is the spiritual energy where everything is full of happiness and love. And there's the material energy where everything is temporary, changing, and perceived to be dying. And then there is the Tatashta Shakti, the marginal energy, which is the limitless manifestations of Krishna who come within as his parts and parcels. Srila Jiva Goswami describes like a particle of a sun ray is to the sun planet. The Jiva is qualitatively one with Krishna and quantitatively vipinamsha, insignificant. And when we speak about insignificance, the spirit that we understand is we're always controlled by Krishna. And Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that the very source of all suffering is we want to be controllers. There's so much conflict all over the world, within people's minds, among families, societies, races, castes, nations, even religions. Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvalokamer suradam sarvabhutanam gyatam shantim richjati. Krishna is telling that one can achieve real peace only when one accepts that Bhagavan, Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, is the controller of all controllers. And therefore, the enjoyer of everything that exists, as well as the proprietor. The propaganda of material life is to the extent we can control, enjoy, and possess, we'll be happy. But this consciousness is adverse to the nature of our hearts and souls. The scriptures tell that trying to be controller, proprietor, and enjoyer is an expression of envy to the real controller, proprietor, and enjoyer. Of all controllers within the cosmic world of this universe, Lord Brahma is the greatest. And he begins his prayers, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karuna Karanam. He's describing the beautiful world of Goloka in the Brahma Samhita. But he's establishing this principle with the truth. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Krishna is the supreme controller of all controllers. His beautiful form is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. And that form of Krishna, that personality of Krishna, is the cause of all causes and the source of everything. We have come to this temple to worship Shri Radha Gopinath. Gopinath, this beautiful name, this beautiful form, is the very highest revelation of the supreme absolute truth. That he is the reciprocator of love. He is Jagannath. He's the Lord of the universe. In the spiritual world, he's Gopinath. He's the enjoyer of gopis. Now, being the Lord of the universe is a very big thing. But Gopinath is speaking of each individual gopi. They're simple girls. Of course, there's elder gopis. But Krishna's playing his flute, especially for the young gopis. And each gopi, she doesn't have a PhD at IIT. She's not a demigod who controls planets or energies. The gopis are not wealthy with possessions. They're milking cows, churning butter, making cow dung patties. So simple. Gopinath, he's receiving the gopis' love in these very simple ways, and he's bestowing his full love for each gopi. Gopinath. That is actually a greater understanding than the Lord of a universe. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go to Jagannath temple and see Jagannath, he would see Gopinath. He wasn't seeing the universal form. He was seeing Krishna playing his flute. And who was Lord Chaitanya? The supreme origin of all gopis, and the supreme origin of all the love of the gopis, and in fact the supreme origin of all love that exists. Sri Radha, Ladini Shakti, Krishna. The absolute truth is one, but for the sake of rasa, or supreme loving enjoyments, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikratir Ladini Shakti Radha. The one supreme truth is two. The supreme object of love, Krishna, and the supreme lover, Radha. The supreme object of love and the supreme abode of love. Radha Gopinath. The Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, the crest jewel of all the Vedic literatures, is describing the very essence of all the knowledge of Vedas. It begins where Bhagavad Gita concludes. Krishna tells Arjuna, always remember me, manmana bhava madbhakto. Become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. This is definition of surrender. Sarvadharman parityasya. There are so many dharmas. There's dharmas of this world. There's the dharmas of religion, the dharmas of society, the dharmas of our particular duties. When Krishna tells abandon all varieties of religion, this is not just to be understood as a negation. It's actually inclusive. When we abandon all dharmas that are separate from pleasing Krishna, and we surrender to Krishna by pleasing Krishna, then all true dharmas are included in that. The Gopis abandoned everything when Krishna played his flute at Bamsivat, and they went to be with him. And he reciprocated by dancing with them. They abandoned all varieties of religion, everything, for Krishna's pleasure. But still, after the rasa dance, Krishna sent them back home to perform their duties. And the Brahmins' wives, the Dvijapatnis, they also abandoned everything for Krishna. But Krishna sent them back to perform their duties. Did that mean that they stopped abandoning? No, the spirit of abandoning means to completely integrate putting Krishna in the center and pleasing Krishna in every situation. Srila Rupa Goswami describes yukta vairagya. Complete renunciation is not just giving up things as being maya, but engaging everything in service, knowing it's Krishna's property. Now, if I were to say to Gopinath Chandra Prabhu that your body is maya, and to neglect it, that would be kind of an insult. Why am I offering obeisances? Of course, I'm offering obeisances to the spirit soul in its body, but still his body is there. That's why I'm offering obeisances. So to say that Krishna's energy and all of Krishna's manifestations within this world, even though they're temporary, just to call them Maya, is to minimize that this is manifesting from Krishna. But when we understand that every manifestation of Krishna is meant to offer service to Krishna, even my body, even my mind, even my family, even my wealth, even my abilities, even whatever little intelligence Krishna may give us. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, he knows everything past, present, and future. And he knows every living entity. And he's written all the Vedas. And all the Vedas are to know him. And he knows everything. So what is our intelligence? If we're Krishna conscious, we understand we're conscious of Krishna, we understand how small we are. And in that smallness, we can experience the highest happiness because we can surrender to the great, to Krishna. And the greatest part of Krishna is not just the Virat Rupa, which we need to understand his greatness as Virat Rupa, where he's the creator and destroyer of all existence in this material energy. But he's Shama Sundar. He's Gopijana Ballava. He's Gopal, Govinda. He's the supreme lover and the supreme object of love. Such greatness. And Krishna doesn't accept things. He accepts the love in which it is offered. Patram pushpam palam toyam. If we offer Krishna a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, Krishna will accept it if it's offered with devotion. That doesn't mean if we offer him gold, he doesn't accept it. If we build him a magnificent temple, he will not accept it. No, give me flowers. This is a qualitative statement. Everyone can offer Krishna a little water with love. There's no material qualification or disqualification for bhakti. It is based on our intention. But the spirit of this means that whatever we have, if we know so much and we just apply our intelligence to giving a flower to Krishna, and then we use the rest to make money and become famous and powerful myself, that's not what Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam is talking about. It means everything. That's the nature of love. To always remember Krishna means to be trying to please Krishna at every moment with whatever resources we have. So yes, the temporary manifestations of this world, that is not what Maya is. Maya is the misconception. We are eternal souls, and we're within these bodies. To think I am this body, that is Maya. To think the things in this relationship, this body, are mine, that is Maya. But the body and everything in relation to the body and mind are Krishna's sacred property. Why should we take care of something if we just think it's an illusion? Krishna's entrusting us with his property. To understand the sacredness is to be conscious that I am the eternal soul. Jivera Swarupa Krishna Nityadas, an eternal servant of Krishna. Now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu begins his message to Sanatana Goswami with this beautiful verse. That's the seed. But how he expands it. Being a servant just doesn't mean to be obedient like a servant in the interpretation of this world. That's included. But seva, its quality, its spiritual quality, is according to the prema, the love in which we offer. Prema pumartamahan. The greatest goal of life is prema, to love Krishna. The conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam is the highest revelation of love for Krishna. It culminates with Krishna's intimate pastimes of Vrindavan. When he's a little baby of 6 days old, he kills Putana. But still, Yashoda Mai thinks that he's completely helpless and depending on her mercy. And she saw Putana. She saw her become 12 miles long, or 8. But that is the power of her motherly love and the power of Krishna's eagerness to receive her motherly love. This is such a deep subject. It's beyond philosophy. It's beyond logic. It's beyond this material existence. It's beyond the ability for the intelligence to fathom. It can only be understood when Krishna reveals to us. We can be proud that we know so much. But do we really understand? The more we actually understand, the more humble we become. Yashoda Mai's love for Krishna as a mother, thinking her child depends on her, is so sweet and so beautiful and so satisfying to Yashoda and so satisfying to Krishna that Krishna will not allow her to think in any other way. Why does she keep thinking Krishna's just my little baby? If I don't feed him, he'll get sick or die. When demon after demon he's liberating. Because Krishna, in the sweetness of a child, reveals himself to her in such a way that she can't see it any other way. This is Rasa Bihari. She's conquering Krishna, and Krishna's conquering her. This is Vrindavan. And it culminates with Radha's love for Krishna. Krishna's enjoying Rasa Lila with all Gopis, and he leaves them all to give satisfaction to Srimati Radharani. Where the Srimad Bhagavatam concludes, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita begins. Krishna wants to personally experience the nature of Radha's love. Krishna wants to understand, what is it about me that makes her so happy in her love? And he comes as Lord Chaitanya. Not only to experience Radha's love, which is the ultimate glorification, the knower of everything, accepts, I don't know. That is how great her love is. The extent. There are so many philosophers who instruct us to know oneself. Krishna knows himself. But in the presence of Srimati Radharani, seeing how she loves him, he's thinking, I want to understand what she sees in me, because it's greater than even I know. These are very high subjects. But this is the prema that Lord Chaitanya is inviting us to participate in. That is Mahaprabhu Sri Chaitanya's pastimes. To come to this world to invite all of us into the beautiful pastimes of Vrindavan. Krishna, with the Mahabhav and supreme compassion of Sri Radha, comes to this world to distribute the love in which we can enter into the sweetest Madhurya pastimes of Braj. And what is the means by which he has provided us? The 9 processes of devotional service. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the role of a devotee specifically to teach us how to follow the process of devotional service. Begins with the association of devotees. And it culminates in association of devotees. It's not that satsang or sadhu sangha is to be left behind at a certain time. The more we realize the importance of sadhu sangha, the more we're benefited and receive the blessings, the more we feel dependent on it. Because Krishna is manifesting himself through his devotees. Sri Rupa Goswami gives us of the great prominence to associate with devotees. And in that association, all the processes of devotional service, all the limbs of bhakti can be fully realized by hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord and the names of the Lord in the association of devotees of the Lord. And actually all the 9 processes of devotional service are so much included within Sankirtan. Sankirtan means very full kirtan. Because as we're chanting, we're also, if we're attentive, we're hearing. And if we're hearing and chanting sincerely, we're remembering. Because Krishna is none different than his name. We're worshiping. We're serving. Sankirtan is a full, complete process when we're sincere and attentive, and we have the support and the blessings of the devotees. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in this age of Kali to give such a simple, accessible process. Srila Prabhupada cites Lord Chaitanya's teachings that pure devotional service is very rare. Muktanam api siddhanam narayana parayana sadurlabha prasantatma kotishvapi mahamune. Out of many people who have achieved mukti, before you became a devotee, how many people did you know that had achieved mukti? How many people that you saw in Bollywood cinemas or television had ever achieved mukti? Of all the millions of species of life all around us, how many spirit souls did you witness who have achieved mukti? Out of limitless beings who have achieved mukti. And siddhanam, those who have attained mystical perfections, who could perform all sorts of what we call miracles. Srimad Bhagavatam describes none of them is really peaceful and happy, because none of them are actually connected with their constitutional eternal nature. Sanatana Dharma, Jaiva Dharma. The nature of the soul is prema. Narayana Parayana. Only a person who loves God can truly be sustainably happy and peaceful, because they have no self-centered motivation. They simply desire Krishna's pleasure. In this material world, it's impossible to have this kind of a consciousness. We're so programmed and conditioned to be an enjoyer. But by Krishna's grace, he gives us prema. And Krishna comes down, the original Krishna and Sri Radha from Goloka have come down to this world to give us this prema. Something we could never achieve. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the bhav of Sri Radha has composed the Shikshastakam, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtana. It is the prime blessing and benediction for everyone. Yes, our beloved founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, all the sacrifices that we hear that he has undergone to spread this movement, the basis was through the eternal spirit of Sri Radha Gopinath's grace, which has descended from the hearts of the great Paramhamsas of our Parampara. He was given the instruction from Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada to spread this message all over the world in the English language. And obviously, Krishna knows past, present, and future. He's speaking through the heart of his pure devotee. That also means, by doing so, he could reach the people of India too, in all languages. Srila Prabhupada's sacrifices was the expressed manifestation of how supremely he realized and valued the gift of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What does it mean? Spread the teachings of Lord Chaitanya in English language. What are those teachings? Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Chaitanya Mangala, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. The postgraduate study of Srimad Bhagavatam. The love of Goloka Vrindavan. Descending into the age of Kali to the most fallen, miserable people. The teachings of Lord Chaitanya are Karuna Sindhu, an limitless ocean of mercy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself told Rupa Goswami that the teachings of the rasas of the spiritual world are like a limitless ocean. And I am going to describe to you one drop from that ocean. The teachings of Lord Chaitanya means the ocean. One drop from that ocean could completely inundate and flood the entire universe. What to speak of the ocean? And Lord Chaitanya says it's an ocean of loving reciprocations between Krishna and devotees in themselves, and how to actually enter into that love. What is the value of that? To take the teachings of Lord Chaitanya doesn't just mean some words. The message of Mahaprabhu, the mercy of Mahaprabhu, into a language that can be translated to all people of the world. It wasn't just do it in English. English is like a medium to all other languages in the world today. Sanskrit was already there. How many of you knew the teachings of Lord Chaitanya? But the commentaries of all the great acharyas, their realizations, their bhava, their karuna, that was the motivating force. That is our qualification for receiving it. Golokera Premadana Harinam Sankirtan. This Sankirtan movement has descended from Goloka Vrindavan. And it's something we could do at our homes, in our cars, in a train, walking on the sidewalk. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told the devotees that whether you're eating or walking or sleeping or working, whatever you may be doing, chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But we need advanced devotees, and we need peers, and we need our juniors too. We need the community of devotees. We're depending on the people who are apparently junior to us, because by giving them Krishna, we're getting such a special blessing of Krishna. Conditioned souls who were just coming to the temple, Srila Prabhupada offered such respect to them, because you're giving me the chance to serve my Guru in this way. Lord Chaitanya's Patita Pavana, he's come to deliver the most fallen. And if a fallen soul comes to me, that fallen soul is giving me the opportunity to get such a blessing to assist Lord Chaitanya and my Gurus. It's actually incredible. But in the association of devotees, our peers, our seniors, our juniors, we're all here in whatever roles we play. Some may be Diksha Gurus, Shiksha Gurus, counselors, mentors, group leaders, presidents, LCs, pujaris, cooks, sweepers, congregation, brahmacharis, sannyasis, vanaprasthas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described the true identity of the jiva is to be the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Das Das Anudas. And we serve by expressing our gratitude to our whole parampara. Whatever our roles, we're all assisting Srila Prabhupada in inspiring one another in a very sincere and sustainable way to follow the culture and the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, to share with one another. Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say that he had shed buckets of blood, his own blood, to bring each person to our movement. Srila Prabhupada quoted Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, I'm willing to sell all our properties and all of our temples if I could just get one person to turn their face toward Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada described, this is our mission. Within the community of devotees, we've all turned our faces toward Krishna. How precious and how dear is each devotee to Srila Prabhupada and to all of the beloved acharyas of our parampara. And Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So today, those of you who are taking initiation, you are making a commitment before the Vaishnavas, before our Gurus, and before Radha Gopinath, with our sincerest intent to follow these principles. To daily chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the prime benediction, the avatar of Lord Radha and Krishna, according to our vow. And to follow these principles. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita the regulative principles of freedom. Srila Prabhupada describes that if you soak wood with water and then put fire on it, what happens? You have to just keep that fire on it for a really long time before the wood actually ignites. But dry wood, the fire immediately takes effect. And after a few minutes, Murlidhar Prabhu will be performing a yajna downstairs. And they get dry cow dung, not wet cow dung. And dry wood, not wet wood. So that it instantly lights. Vishnu is the fire, and it's consumed by Vishnu. So no illicits, next to no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating. These basic principles have the effect by which, when we're not overly attached to these material things, then the holy names of the Lord are more accessible to us, to awaken, purify our hearts and awaken the love of God that is within. But besides these regulative principles, upon initiation, we're reciting the 10 fences of the holy name. We're committing ourselves to really strive to guard against these offenses. To really strive to reciprocate with the grace that has come to us by putting Yasya Prasada, Bhagavat Prasada, the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, as the center of our life. Most all of you who are coming for this initiation have been striving and waiting for a long time. And your counselors and the senior leaders who are assembled here and elsewhere, they are so pleased to recommend how rare this is, how rare each of you is, and how rare each of you who's sitting next to each other is. In a world of so much exploitation and conflict, you're willing to dedicate your lives to receiving Krishna Prema and helping one another to distribute Krishna Prema. This is really glorious. I'm not saying this to make you proud. You should be proud of each other. But ourselves, we should not be proud of. We should be grateful. The idea of causeless mercy is to receive mercy with a graceful heart, with a grateful heart. I am very grateful to you. Somebody once asked Srila Prabhupada about his Guru Maharaj, and tears welled in his eyes, and he said, "What can I say? He saved my life." That's Srila Prabhupada as the Acharya. So within the society that he has inspired, we have our Shiksha Gurus, our Diksha Gurus, and we have each other to give us shelter. There's nothing more precious than the association of sincere devotees. please try to be that association and try to share that association. And it's only possible when we're very grateful to receive that association. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.